Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Parents Engaging Parents Beloved Community Check-in. My name is Erica Beverett, and we are here today with the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. They're going to be sharing with us cooking matters at the store, so we're going to get a little bit of insight on the do's and the don'ts and the ins and the outs, because we know right now, like gas prices are super high, and we definitely want to find out the best ways to budget and be able to keep a couple of dollars in our pockets, right? Because inflation is super, super duper duper high. So Parents Engaging Parents is a nonprofit organization. We are here to promote civic awareness and proactive community advocacy based on the interests of parents and community leaders. We challenge ordinary people to identify problems faced in their neighborhoods and their cities, connect parents and organizations to multiply their power and bring real and measurable change. So I am actually hanging out here by myself. My parent friends must be dealing with the weather out there. So shout out to them, everybody. I hope you're getting home safely. And I did want to do something, and that is to shout out an educational woman who has been in my life for umpteen years. She has through high school, we sang on a platform. We grew together, and I wanted to say shout out to Rashida Bass. She sells paparazzi, and these earrings are from paparazzi. And Rashida, I'm sorry, Facebook kicked you off last night. Boo to them, but yay to you and the work that you're doing in your community in Newark, teaching those second grade babies. We love you, and if you can, check her out. Her name is Coco Roxy on Facebook. Okay. Oh goodness. All right. So hi, Miss Elise. She is here. Good evening. I'm so glad you're here. Miss Elise is a pillar in our community. As you know, she gives out food in the community of East Orange in Essex County. She is there on pretty much every Saturday and Sunday. So please, she gets fantastic food from Trader Joe's, from Costco. She gives out to the community. She's always sharing, always sharing. So go check her out on Marcy and Prospect there in East Orange. So with that, I'm going to definitely say that Community Food Bank of New Jersey is our sponsor for today. They are here sharing their gifts of information, and we're going to get it, and we are so grateful for that. But in order to have that happen, we need your donations. So please check us out on pepnj.org. Hit the donate button, donate to us. We will take anything from $1, $2, $3, $4, $10, $100. Anything helps. Everything counts. So we do have today with us, we have Maria Lopez and Mark Barbetto, who's here from the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. They're nutritional educators, and they're here to give us some insight on healthy options on a budget. So we do know that a lot of times fruits and vegetables are super duper expensive, and it's sometimes hard to get in our certain communities. We have a lot of places that are known as food deserts, where there might not necessarily be fresh foods that are needed in order to stay healthy and to sustain our bodies. So we do know that the food bank is known for packaging food orders and local soup kitchens, food pantries, and they purchase and collect food for distribution to help people through SNAP. And SNAP application assistance they help out with to reach communities with limited resources with mobile pantries and to encourage others to get involved. And they had a fantastic work that they did was they gave out 85 million meals. So with that, I'm going to introduce Maria and Mark to the platform. Hey, Miss May.
Hi.
I'm like,
How are you?
how was the weather out there? Was it craziness?
Oh my, cold and rainy.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Do you have anything to check in with us about?
Um, I, you know what? I would like to announce that on next month, just for everybody to keep this in the back of their mind, we
Mhm.
will have a child abuse awareness walk on
Mm.
April the 9th. And we're encouraging families, children, community resource vendors, if they would like to come and set up a table. We're going to have that in the city of Bridgeton to bring awareness for our children. It should
Great.
be really nice. So
Yeah. And also for the kids and the families to get the
to
tools.
get together.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
so we usually have a lot of vendors there. Um, the first 150 children that come in and they register, we have these cool sunglasses that they can put on for that day. And we're going to be taking
Mm.
pictures on Facebook and giving shout outs to the community. And, we're going to have a great time. It's going to be really nice.
Ah, yes. Yeah, that sounds like
Mhm.
and April's gonna be here. I'm so excited because it's like when the warm weather is getting ready to come.
Yes,
Like it gives you a totally different feeling. It
yes,
really
it
does.
does. So I'm really excited about that. So everybody
Mhm.
come on out. We'll have a lot of fun. You can run, you can walk. Um,
Miss Elise is
everyone-
giving us the hand claps.
yes, Miss Elise, we want to see you in the house.
And oops, sorry. Good afternoon. Tiffany Jacobs, Shauna Manraj, topic on food disparity. Oh, that's what you want to hear. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes. And I see that Cardona Aguilera is here saying good afternoon, welcome all. If you have any questions. Thanks, lady.
Oh,
That's
welcome.
really that's her alias, Cardona.
Mm.
But I know who that is. And I see hi Shaniqua. I'm glad that you were able to join us. You were really on my not on my mind, Miss Lemon. So today I was really thinking about you. So I'm glad that you were able to tune in. So I was gonna get ready to bring on Maria to the platform. So I am gonna have her to come on. Hello, Maria.
Hi,
How are
Maria. Hi, everyone. I'm doing good. Trying
Welcome.
to keep warm.
you? Great. It's great to see you. So, what we do here at PAP is we definitely make sure we get to know a little bit about you, Maria. So, we wanted to know what or who is it that inspired you to do the work you do with SNAP and the Community Food Bank of New Jersey?
I haven't been asked that question in a while. I kind of forget where you started from sometimes. So, my personal experience when it came to nutrition and what kind of drive me into this field is my aunt had battled breast cancer, and throughout the that experience, and she did, we were blessed enough that she did overcome it. At that age in my life, it really like blew my mind how she had to change her life, because not only was she battling breast cancer, but she was also diabetic. And one of the biggest challenges that I noticed is that food was so hard for her, what she was supposed to eat. And I just started involving myself and guiding my aunt at a young age and say, oh, look, this is what I found. And as time went by and I noticed my other family members were having other health conditions, and it just drove my passion into nutrition and being part of New Jersey SNAP Ed and providing that, information, the tools, just providing them with what are some next steps and letting them know that it's easy to make healthy changes. You don't need to have, a big bank to have a healthy lifestyle. It can be simple and inexpensive. And that is what drives me. And that's what has me here today.
No, great. Yeah, no.
Did we look? Okay, there you go.
No, I'm here. You didn't lose us. We're still here. Thank you for sharing your story. Yeah, that's so important. Sometimes it's like something that really like grabs us, and I love that you were able to share that. It seems hard, but it really is easy. Like the foods are out there to encourage us and to nourish our bodies the way that they're supposed to. So I am gonna invite Mark on. Mark is with the Community Food Bank as well. Hi, Mark.
Hello, hi guys.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Awesome.
So please,
Welcome.
if you can, tell us what your Community Food Bank story is. Who inspired you to do the work that you do?
So I'd have to say my mom kind of started with nutrition and exercise and taking care of your body. She always instilled that in me when I was young, and it just kind of carried on to go to school for nutrition and exercise. And not only did she instill the work towards a healthy diet and creating a exercise and things like that to work towards, she also was very, very involved in giving back. So working for a company like the Community Food Bank of New Jersey was kind of a no-brainer, where I get to kind of use some of my knowledge in nutrition and exercise and give back.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Mom. So we are gonna start with your presentation. Okay, Maria, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, so we're gonna add it to stream.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I'm excited to be here. This is a new platform for me personally. And to start our introduction, we always have a non-discrimination statement. If you're not aware, we are a federally run program, and we like to let everyone know who's in our lessons that we do not discriminate anyone based on race, sex, nationality, color, etc. And you are aware, if not, we'll let you know today that you do have rights to file a claim if at any moment in time that you feel that you are being discriminated. So let's go on with our lesson. This will always be in all of our lessons. So just to introduce SNAP Ed itself. So our program is made possible through the founding of SNAP Ed, which is basically an initiative that came present from our Just Say Yes to Fruits and Vegetables, where we'll be learning in these coming weeks, which these curriculums teach on healthy eating skills, building confidence, and just building your own eating habits and skills on a limited budget. Now, if you're not aware, SNAP Ed is funded through the Nutrition Education and Obesity Prevention Grant. And as we go through these lessons, today we are going to be talking about Cooking Matters at the Store. Now, one of the great things about Cooking Matters at the Store is you might ask yourself, hey, what do you mean I'm cooking matters while I'm at the store or at the store? Is that cooking starts at the store, right? We buy our ingredients. We buy, we might even plan while we're there what we're going to be buying, or buy equipment while we're at the store. So all of our cooking essentials, or what we're going to be making at home, we get them from the store. So this is why it's so important knowing through this store tour that I'm going to give you as a virtual store, what to look for when you're going through your aisles, when you meal plan, or what do you need to look for? I'm going to provide you with those tools today. So one thing about this lesson itself, Cooking Matters at the Store, is that it is a free program of the No Kid Hungry campaign that empowers families to stretch their food budgets so their children can get healthy meals at home. One thing I love about this curriculum itself is that Cooking Matters, this lesson, or eating healthy at home, it doesn't need to break your bank. And that's one thing you'll learn throughout this lesson. We are going through some tough times, and things are just getting tighter as they go, or we might be living our daily lives paycheck by paycheck. So hopefully throughout this lesson, you might learn some good food skills, smart shopping tips, and then maybe some barriers that you might have to overcome or working on overcoming. You might find some tips today to help you in encouraging those, overcoming those barriers. So some main points we're going to be discussing specifically today is reading food labels, finding whole grain foods, fresh versus frozen and canned produce, and what it means to compare unit prices. So I'm hoping with these four empowering key points that we're going to be learning today, you find some interesting and new information. So first, I'm not sure if I can see any of your messages, but if not, it is okay. I will just kind of go right into this here. So this image itself is called the My Plate. The My Plate itself is a reminder on how to find your own eating style. It is a guide. It is not something that you can adapt. It doesn't just happen. One day you just decide, yay, I'm going to eat the My Plate every day, and it just happens. No, it's just like being physically active. You know, you have to work on it. It becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a natural habit. It's not something that you don't even have to think. It just happens. So the My Plate, you can always go to the choosemyplate.gov, where you can find a lot of great resources, some more tips if you want to go more in depth. One thing I do love about choosemyplate.gov is it does have an app that you can download free on your phone, which I hope you can take advantage of, because a lot of the stuff and tips and tools you can find easily accessible on your phone. So one of the great things about the My Plate is it focuses on the variety of 5 food groups, as well as the amounts of portions that we have to eat with each of these 5 food groups, which are fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy. One thing that you may not see here on the My Plate image is that it discusses specifically how to limit your sugary beverages, your fats, intake as well, and sodium. So now next, we're going to go into, thank you so much. I see you're already getting ready on a little introduction video that you can find at the Cooking Matters at the Store website, which I will be sharing at the end of this lesson as well, if you're interested in seeing some of their videos and tips on how to read the nutrition facts label. If you can share that for me, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Hi, Erica. Can you share the video, please? I'm not sure if I'm frozen on my end. If not, oh, wait, yes. Kind of froze on my end. Oh, I can't hear you, Erica. You're on mute.
Okay, I'm gonna get ready to share that. I believe I have it here now. So I think it does. Okay,
Thank you.
here it is, reading your food labels.
Yes, if you can just open it to full screen.
Navigating the grocery store to choose the foods that are best for your health can be overwhelming. Don't be distracted by the words and the advertising on the front of the package.
Okay, we're gonna stop
Always
this
look to
here.
the nutrition facts label to use as
It's
your
okay. If not, we can just come back to it.
Use the nutrition facts label. It's easier with time and practice.
Yeah, we're gonna hold off on that for a second.
That's fine. We'll go right into the next subject. It's okay.
The first thing we want
Yeah, if you could just share with us what the young lady is going to share with us, and I'm gonna
can be
get this
overwhelming. Don't be
all
Yes.
set.
choose the
Okay, so I can just go right ahead and read on from there. Can I present screen now?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Oh, wait.
Thank you.
Fruits and vegetables are
Let
very
it
important for
work now.
our health. They should actually be half of what we aim to eat throughout the day. So when we're grocery shopping, we should aim to fill at least half of our cart with those items. There are many choices in the store for fruits and vegetables. Let's look at how we can make the best choices for our time, our taste, and our budget. There are 3 ways that we can purchase our vegetables in the grocery store, and that's fresh, frozen, and canned. A lot of people tend to think that out of these 3 choices, fresh is the best option, but that's not necessarily true. The truth is, all of these options are great choices. Let's start with fresh produce. Fresh produce is best when it's in season and you can use it in a timely manner. You'll know what fresh produce is in season because you'll see it in an abundance at the grocery store, and it's usually marked to the lowest price. When those fruits and vegetables are in season, they will have the best taste and the highest amount of nutrients. Buying fresh produce in bulk is usually better for your budget, but only if you can use it before it goes bad. Items that will last longer and are good to buy in bulk are foods like onions, potatoes, apples, and citrus. It may seem more convenient to purchase fresh produce that's partially prepared, but just know that there's going to be an added cost to these items. Buying products in its whole form is usually a better budget-friendly option. Fresh produce does require some extra time for preparation and a plan so that the food doesn't spoil in your fridge. With a good plan, you can make it work. Next, we have our canned goods. Canned foods are a great option for your time, budget, and storage. Canned foods are convenient because they take little to no preparation and they have a long shelf life. You may also find more of a variety of fruits and vegetables in the canned section. Canned foods are always in season. Some people may think that canned foods are not the best option because they don't contain enough nutrients, but that's not necessarily true. Canned fruits and vegetables are picked at the peak of their freshness, prepared, and preserved. You do have to be aware of the sodium and sugar content in canned fruits and vegetables. So always make sure that you rinse and drain your canned vegetables. If you can't choose the no salt added version, try to choose the canned fruit that's packed in water or 100% juice. You can stock up on these canned fruits and vegetables and keep them in your pantry for whenever you have limited time or you just prefer canned. And then we have frozen produce, which is another wonderful option when you have limited time to cook or you're worried about wasting fresh produce. This produce is picked at the peak of freshness, is partially cooked, and then it's frozen so then you can keep it in your freezer for months. These ensure that you have a quick addition to any meal. Similar to canned fruits and vegetables, watch out for that added sodium and sugar. Season them yourself so that now you're in control of what's being added. With frozen, look for sales and coupons to get the best price. Fresh, frozen, and canned are all great options to add a variety of fruits and vegetables to your plate. Remember that it all comes down to your time, your taste, and your budget.
Thank you. At least one of our videos worked today. So at least we got to learn a little bit about the 3 different ways that we can buy our fruits and vegetables and how all 3 forms count. Thank you. Perfect. So now we're going to go right into what is a whole grain. So one of the great things to note about whole grains is they have three components. They have a bran, a germ, and an endosperm. And that was what makes an actual grain whole grain. Here's some great visuals on some examples of a whole grain. Maybe some of these you know, maybe some of these you don't know, but I want to encourage you. Try these different kinds. Maybe you want to try a wild rice, black rice, or even buckwheat. There's no such thing as a whole grain. Has to be the color brown. They come in different colors and sizes, just as you can see in this visual. Now here is 3 things to know about a whole grain. As you can see here, I have an image of the exact whole kernel of the grain, where in the outside, you will see that it's the bran, where you will find a lot of the fiber and many vitamins. Then the light yellow, which I consider it's called the endosperm, is where you're going to find a lot of the carbohydrates, some protein, and even vitamins. And then lastly, the yolk of the egg is what I like to say, or the yolk of the kernel of the whole grain is what we call the germ. You're going to find some great healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals and antioxidants there as well. So this is why it's so important in having a whole grain, because of the whole 3 components. Now, when we have something called a refined grain, what happens is when it is processed or milled, what happens is the germ and the bran is removed. So all we're eating in reality is just the endosperm. So they're removing nutrients like fiber, vitamins as well. So having a whole grain gives you that more sensation of fullness compared to if we have refined grains, where we have a much higher increase of just carbohydrates, and why we feel much more hungrier, much faster. So we're going to become a little bit of a whole grain detectives right now. And I'm going to give you some pointers on what to look for when looking at your nutrition facts label. So as you can note here in the nutrition facts label, there's always going to be in ingredients. You're going to see the calories, the serving sizes. You do want to look for the percentage of fiber, specifically under total carbohydrates, which is going to give you dietary fiber. You want to go for anything that's 20 and above, has a good amount of fiber. So here, for example, I have a country white bread. And you can see in the ingredients section, it says enriched wheat flour. Now, when we see anything that says enriched wheat flour, you will always see like these giant parentheses right after, meaning what are those components involved in the enriched wheat flour? So it tells you wheat flour. It tells you they also added some iron. They also added some vitamin B2. So that is pretty much, I like to call it a blend. There's a blend, and that's why it's called enriched wheat flour. Now, notice how there's also a list. So this list is like a weighing scale. Whatever's on the top of the list is what this ingredient or product has the most of. And as we go down the list, it has less of it. Now, this is why it's so important when we look for our whole grains. The key word we want to look for is the word whole. In this example, we don't see the word whole. We see enriched wheat flour. Now, to get more nutrients or more, we want to get more fiber, looking for that word whole is going to help us reach that goal as well. And that helps us identify if this item is actually a whole grain or not. So next, here I have another example of a bread. This is a multi-grain bread. But notice in the ingredients section, the first ingredient still is enriched wheat flour. Now, right, might sound surprising. Even though the bread may look brown, they also might have put seeds on top of it. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't any whole grain in there. There probably is, and it's probably a little bit down in the list, but you're not getting much of whole grain. They can call it a multi-grain bread because they are putting multiple different grains. You can see that they put corn, oats, sesame seeds. They also put barley in there. So they could call the bread a multigrain bread. But as you can see, the primary ingredient, the first ingredient, is an enriched wheat flour. So in reality, we're not having a whole grain product that is high in fiber. So here's another example. You can see here, sometimes you may see a bread that may say 100%, or sometimes there's a nice little stamp that says it's a whole grain bread. You might find that sometimes on your bread. But if you always go to the ingredient section, you can see the word whole always comes before the grain. So it can be whole wheat flour, it can be whole corn, whole millet, whatever it may be, or that you may find, or oats that you're buying, whatever the grain may be, the word whole should be in front. Because just like the other bread we saw prior, the multi-grain bread, just because it looks brown doesn't mean that it's actually a whole grain bread. So always looking at the ingredient section is very important. Now here I have an example of a cracker. This you can see here in the ingredients section. The primary ingredient is an unbleached enriched flour. Now, one thing I like to remind everyone is when it means with unbleached and what is bleached, all it is how it's processed. So if it's more processed, it will be bleach. If it's unprocessed, it will still have a little bit of the grain. That's what makes it looks like you can see those little dots in the cracker, have a little bit of more of that brownness of a color. So that's what it means by unbleached. And then you can see the next words are enriched flour, which is pretty much the same ingredient as our white country white bread. So there isn't much of a difference. But if you see in the middle there, it says whole grain wheat flour. So there is some wheat flour. It's just in the middle. We're not getting the most of our fiber in this whole grain. And then lastly, here I have another example of a cereal. Even cereals like this one here, for example, if you read the ingredient section, the primary ingredient sometimes can be in our whole grains, can say sugar. Believe it or not, they can. So here I have an example where the primary ingredient is sugar, which makes this cereal not an actual good source of whole grain. That doesn't mean that there isn't any whole grain. Is this, if you go further down in the list, you will see a whole grain oats and the cereal. But those are just examples of what to look for when you're going through the ingredients section. Now, this is the video that we saw prior, which were the 3 ways to buy produce, which we read earlier. So here I'm just going to go into an example of what we should look for in our cans. Now, what can be the difference? A lot of times we can go shopping in the aisles. Maybe we want to buy some vegetables or some sliced carrots for this occasion. You will notice that the price will be exactly the same. So you will also notice that the calories on these 2 cans are the same. The nutrients are the same. The only difference you'll find with these 2 cans of sliced carrots is the amount of salt. So on the left side, I have a regular can of sliced carrots, and you may or may not be able to see it, but it does say, let me see if I can see the numbers now, 12,000. So yep, 1,265 milligrams of sodium, which is above that 50%. And then on the right side, I have no salt added, and it's about 175 milligrams. So that really does cut the amount of sodium in just that can more than 50%. So you do see that you can get a choice, let's say for these sliced carrots with no salt added, and reduce the amount of salt or sodium intake in our diet and still pay the same price, still eat the same item, and it doesn't have to hurt your pockets. So one thing that is very important to look at in this grocery store or any of your, maybe your corner store, wherever you go shopping, unit pricing. You may see this a lot more than in the previous years. A lot of stores have started implementing unit pricing. Now, some key things to know is how to read and understand them. Now, when it comes to the retail price, is the price you're going to pay for the item, right? I think that's what we're all really depend on. We look for the retail price. What are we paying for this item? That is what matters. But one thing to also look at too is that unit price. That unit price is important in knowing how much you're actually paying. Once it comes to how much you're actually paying for the ounce. So for example, here I have an oat cereal, which is a 14-ounce cereal. Now, what you can do is you can have your phone handy when you have your calculator right there, and you will take those 14 ounces and divide it by the retail price. And it'll give you that 0.16, that, and it'll continue rounding it off, but I'm just going to stop it at 0.16. I'll go 66. And then it'll give you how much you're actually paying per that ounce. Now, this is a great tool to use when comparing items. Sometimes you may see two of the same items, different sizes, but the retail price might be lower or higher on the same item. And you want to know, where are you going to get the best deal? Now, looking at that unit price is going to help you because they already did that math for you. They already divided that retail price with the ounces for you, and they're giving you the unit price right there, easy for you to view. So if you look at that unit price, or if you don't see that unit price, you can do this nice tool that I've taught you today. Take how much it is per ounce and divide it by the price. Now, here's one thing to note. You will only find these on package like a can, a box of cereal. You won't find a unit price on actual fresh produce. Now, this is where it becomes a little bit challenging. What you could do is you can also divide or weigh it by a pound. Sometimes you'll see, 99 cents a pound for a bag of apples. You can take that pound and convert the pound to ounces, which would be 16 ounces. So you will take the retail price of the apples, if it's 99 cents, and then divide it by 16. And it'll let you know how much you're actually paying per the ounce of the apple. And I hope that helps. And this is a tool that you can take with you and try at the supermarket. I do want to encourage, and maybe you can share the stories of your experience using unit pricing. Now, here I have an example of 3 forms of carrots and how unit pricing can be very helpful. You can see here in the first example, I have a bulk, right? I have 5 pounds of whole carrots. In the middle, I have 1 pound of baby carrots. And on the right, I have 1 pound, but it says 16 ounces. So remember, 16 ounces is always a pound of frozen carrots. Now you can see here, all 3 are carrots. But depending on how much you want or need can also be very important in a factor in choosing what would be best for you. So for example, if you look at all 3 of the unit prices, which one is the lowest? You'll see on the left, the one with whole carrots, it's actually the lowest. You're actually saving more by buying the 5 pounds of carrots, which are 70 cents, compared to if you will buy the $1.99 of a pound of baby carrots, or the $1 per pound for the frozen carrots that have been already nicely diced for you. Now, when it comes to sugary beverage, there are some key things to know. Here I have 2 examples of juices. We have cranberry cocktail. We have mixed berry juice. Now, 2 things to look out for when it comes to choosing your sweetened beverages is look at the percentage of juice and then look at your ingredients section, because it's going to help you decide what kind of sweetened beverage or juice you want to select. For here, this example, you can see on the left side, this cranberry cocktail is only 27% juice. But if you look at the right, we have mixed berry juice. It's 100% mixed berry. So you can see the difference. You want to go more towards that 100%. And here you'll see the ingredient section. You can see in the cocktail juice, The ingredient section says the primary ingredient is actually filtered water, where on the right side, the 100% juice is actually the apple, like the apple itself, like apple juice, pear juice, grape juice. So they're actually using the full ingredient, the whole ingredient, compared to the cocktail juice. Is actually, you can do something yourself. You can just take that 100% juice, mix it with some water if you like, and have yourself some cocktail juice. But you'll get more of the nutrients. As you can see, the sugar content is much lower in that 100% juice compared to the cocktail juice. Is a higher percentage of sugar, where you can see there is included added sugars, and in the 100% juice there is no added sugar. It's just the natural sugar from the actual fruit itself. Now, when it comes to dairy, here I have some nice examples of 4 different dairies. I have whole milk, 2% milk, 1% milk, and fat-free milk. Now, I do want to note that all the nutrients are exactly the same in all these 4 different forms of milk. The proteins is the same, the calcium is the same, and the only thing you'll notice difference, besides the calories here, is the amount of fat. Now, fat-free milk and 1% milk is recommended for adults to have, compared to having that whole milk. It's more for younger children. But as adults, we should be having more of that 1% milk and fat-free milk. Now, if, let's say, for example, milk itself, you don't like having an animal product milk, well, there also are milk alternatives that are plant-based. You can have oats milk, you can have rice milk, you can have coconut milk, you can have fun and choose your preference, even almond milk. But there are some key things to look out for. Watch out for the amount of sugar in those milks options, alternatives. You want to be mindful of that. Going for that unsweetened would be best, just to reduce the amount of sugar in that milk. So that's another suggestion. Now, there are some key things, right? We've done our milks, we've done our beverages, we've done our fruits, our vegetables, and even our grains, right? Now we're going to get into the protein, which goes with all of our dishes. You'll see here in the proteins, there are some key things to look out for. The same way we do with the example of carrots, we're going to look at some key things here as well. So you do want to look at the unit price per pound when it comes to your protein, specifically your lean protein, right? We want to encourage that lean protein just to reduce the amount of fats. And looking at the percentage, sometimes you might see that percentage sign there. You're like, hey, what does it mean when it say that 20%? Or that 30%, or that 5% of fat? So you want to be as low as you can, but no more than that 20%. Going for that 7% is always great. The lower the percentage, the leaner the meat is. And that is what that percentage is for. So notice that sometimes, even when it comes to unit prices, the more the store does for you, the more you pay. So you can see this nice example of these patties there for you of ground beef. Cost a little bit more because they have prepped it for you, molded for you. So that's one thing to also note. You also will notice when it comes to protein, one great source of lean protein is ground turkey. Turkey is typically always less expensive and lower in fat. So if you're looking for something else to try, I would encourage trying some ground turkey. Now here you can see what that percentage looks like. So you can see I have 2 examples here of ground beef and ground turkey, which is on the left and on the right. I do want to highlight, if you can see the total amounts of grams of fat, they both are the same. They both are lean. You can see they have that 7% fat, but you can also see, look at the calories. The calories are lower as well. And that's why we are recommending, if you want to try, you can try some ground turkey. Now, there are some benefits of buying things that are in bulk or buying them as a whole. Now, this can also be a preference of your own choice. Sometimes buying in whole can be more convenient because, as you can see here in this unit price, if I were to buy a whole turkey, I'm only paying 99 cents for this chicken. Now, as you can see, it's a whole chicken. It hasn't been prepped or deboned or, skin removed or chopped up into pieces or how I may, want it to be. But I am getting more for my item for a better price. But sometimes you may want to just buy some chicken breasts, and buy them in bulk might sometimes be convenient, or then buying them in whole. Maybe you want to save yourself some time and maybe peeling and prepping, and you find that buying it this way might be work best. And that's okay. This is more of your preferences and looking at which one would actually benefit you the most. Does whole, you get more for your money, or does bulk? Sometimes you may find some great deals and sales at the supermarket. You always encourage looking at the store's circular, or even if they have an app. A lot of this have become very modern and easy to access. Sometimes you can just download the store's Fill app and get even better coupons and deals on your items. The same thing here applies when it comes to your seafood protein. Now, seafood protein comes in different forms, right? You can buy them fresh, you can buy them frozen, or you can even buy them in a can. We do encourage that when you have protein, try to include some seafood as well. Having a variety is always very great. You can notice the pricing can vary a lot when it comes to seafood. Seafood is not as consistent as maybe our protein may be, and sometimes a little bit more pricier. So one thing you can note when it comes to the seafood is maybe can might be more convenient, more or less expensive, or maybe sometimes frozen. But if you notice the unit prices on each of the fresh and frozen, you are getting a little bit more in your frozen compared to your fresh. But you can see if you depend on the retail price, you're going to see, well, you are paying a little bit more on your retail price. So remember, practicing that unit price and reading your retail price and knowing what you're actually getting for your money is always very important. And thank you for sharing that you like to buy in bulk, and that's okay. We always want to encourage everyone, pick what is best for you. What is best for your pocket? What do you want to maybe plan for that week or buy for your family? Sometimes we all have different family sizes, right? We're planning for a family of 7, or maybe we're just planning for a family of 2. It's whatever is best for you. And just looking at these different tips and skills, I hope to encourage maybe buying some other options that you would like to try and practicing some of these tips and skills. And let me know what you guys think the next time you go to the store. So here we're going to go shopping now, which is one of my favorite. I'm sure everyone likes to go shopping at the grocery store. So this is our virtual shopping. And I'm going to need everyone's support on here. So I do want to remind everyone when we're doing this little shopping, if you can either write it down. I won't be able to hear you. I'll wait a couple seconds to give you guys an opportunity to respond, and then we'll go from there. So when it comes to picking produce, which item below has the lowest unit price per pound? Now, I know it might be a little bit small, so I'll try to read them out to the best that I can. On the left, you have $1.99. In the middle, you have $1.49. And then on the right, you have $1.99, but the unit price says $3.18. Which one are you actually getting the lowest unit price per pound? Yes, thank you. So someone said the $1.99. So remember, thank you for sharing your answer. When it comes to the retail price, remember, just because it says $1.99, but look at how much you're paying. You're paying for that 10 ounce for $1.99. Compared to the baby carrots, which is 1 pound, which is more than that 10 ounce, you're paying that same amount of price, $1.99. I know this one was tricky, but in reality, the one that you're actually paying the lowest per the unit price per pound, it's actually the whole carrots, because you're paying $1.49. So very good try. Let's try the next one. Here we have some canned produce. So remember some key things I talked about when I compared the two carrots. So remember which one of these two, and if you can't see the serving sizes or specifically the sodium as well, please let me know and I'll read them out right now just to be safe. So the serving sizes on both of these cans are half a cup of a serving size. On the left side, I have a serving percentage or measurement of 1,610 milligrams per the container, but per the serving size is 460 milligrams. And on the right, I have per the serving size 130 milligrams, but per the container, I have 455. Which of these two, either you can put left or right, or A and B, whichever is easier, has the lowest amount of sodium per the container or the cans or serving size? Let's see. I know you guys got this. B, yes. If you said B, you are correct. On the one on the right, it has the lowest amount of sodium per the serving. So very good. Now remember our whole grains, right? And we practice how to identify an actual whole grain item. Which item below is made from a whole grain? So I have 3 examples here. On the left, I have or tortilla. In the middle, I have split top wheat bread. And on the right, I have some crackers. Which of these 3 is actually made from a whole grain? Now, if you need me to read the ingredients, I can. The ingredients section on the cracker is on organic, unbleached, enriched flour. Our split top wheat bread is an enriched flour, and our tortilla is actually a whole wheat tortilla, a whole wheat flour tortilla. I hope I did not give out any answers away. Yes. Okay, excellent. So yes, the correct answer would be the tortilla. It's actually the first ingredient says whole, and that's why the tortilla is actually made from a whole grain. So remember when it comes to our dairy, we talked about the percentage, right? That low fat milk or that 1% milk or that fat-free milk. But there's also something else to look at when it comes to your dairy is the amount of sugar. Now, these 4 images are going to be a little bit tough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the percentage of all 4 of them, and hopefully that helps kind of give out which one to choose. So on the Greek yogurt, you will see that it has 7 grams of sugar. On here, I have the mini strawberry smoothies, which has 14 grams of sugar. And then on the yogurt strawberry cup, here I have for an individual serving is 26 grams of sugar. And then lastly, we have our light vanilla yogurt, which has 15 grams of sugar. Now, I'm going to call this A, B, C, and D. You can put it in the chat box and let me know which of this actually has the lowest amount of sugar. And I know you guys got this. Yes, it is A. Excellent. You are on the ball today. You guys are doing such a great job. The answer is A. It's our Greek yogurt. So here it goes. This is our toughest one today. Which item below has the least fat per serving and is the least expensive? So we're looking for 2 things here. Which one has less fat and which one is less expensive? So I'm hoping everyone can see here, but I'll read them out loud to help guide here. So our ground beef is $7.48. And remember, looking at that lean or percentage, it is 93% lean and 7% fats. Then we have in the middle, our B here is ground beef. It is $3.74. It is 80% lean and 20% fat. And then lastly, our category C, our ground turkey, is $4.98. 93%, excuse me, lean and 7% fat. Is it A, B, or C that are fat less? Oh, everybody went quick. Very great. You guys are on the ball. I love it when everyone responds so quickly. So yes, if you picked C, which is our ground turkey, it is $4.98. It is the least expensive. It has the least amount of fat per serving as well. So excellent job. So you saw all the steps we did today with our grain, our vegetable. We did some dairy. We did some protein as well. And those simple ingredients that we did today will go into, did someone say Taco Tuesday? Yes, today can be our Taco Tuesday, where we put those carrots, the yogurt, our beans, our tortilla, and our ground beef, and easily make a meal for 8 people for $1.37 per person, which gives us a total of $10.95. Now, this is just for this example. You can try this same practice at home, and I hope you all enjoyed today's lesson. Are there any questions, by the way, as I'm here? Oh, you're welcome.
Malik says, thank you. And are there any questions?
If there aren't any questions, I do want to share our Cooking Matters. They have an amazing website, cookingmatters.org/tips, where you can see a lot of the videos, and one of them that we'll share today as well. You can also go to our cfpnj.org website /find food if you want to connect yourself to the nearest food pantry as well. In the chat box, I'm going to be putting an anonymous survey for all of you all to, you can complete at this time, or if you want to do it after today, you can. You do have, I usually say, a 24-hour window. No, I'm joking. You have to do it now. No, I'm joking. You have today, tomorrow, that 48-hour window to complete this nutrition survey. It is anonymous. We do appreciate your feedback. This survey is just to let us know how we can improve our lessons. What are some topics that you would like us to bring to your community, and as well as provide us with your, let's say, maybe some tips or suggestion. Thank you so much. I can see the messages kind of popping up on the screen. I appreciate all of your time. Thank you so much for completing the survey if you already did so. Remember, it is anonymous. It is very quick and easy. This little, you can kind of select, and then submit. If there's a question you are feeling uncomfortable with completing, there is an option to prefer not to answer. And thank you.
Thank you, Maria, for your insight on all of these cooking matters. I did have a question. What would be your alternative for, like, let's just say, like, potato chips?
Oh, that's a good one. If you've never made your own potato chips, I do want to encourage you on this. I've done it. You can take your own potatoes at home. You can make even sweet potato chips. You can do regular potato, and you can season them yourself. You want to put a little bit of salt and pepper. You want to put a little bit of lemon juice if you like that, salt and vinegar. You can season them to your taste if you would like, or just keep it as salt and pepper you can. Put them in your oven. They're very easy to make, or if you even have an air fryer, which is becoming a big boom right now. It's very inexpensive. You can buy it under $20 and use it to your own convenience. So yes, you can make your own potato chips, but if not, You can have nuts. Nuts is another great snack that I love to have. They're very inexpensive, and as well as you can get that extra, protein and nice vitamins that come with it as well.
So, Mark, do you know like where you can go in your neighborhood for like a pantry? Is there any pantries like around where you're working? I know you're out of South Jersey, so just definitely shout out your
Yes.
section of Community Food Bank, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Egg Harbor Township, our kind of southern branch, right in South Jersey here. It's off the Black Horse Pike, and that's our local pantry. It's awesome. Check it out.
All right. Thank you. And how about you, Maria? Which area are you representing?
So I'm from the Community Food Bank at Hillside.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
So
Shout out
much
to
weather.
Hillside. I grew up in Elizabeth, so woo woo, Union County.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So if you can just check out their website and check out ours as well. Please donate to Parents Engaging Parents. You can find our donate button on pepnj.org so that we can continue to share all of these resources and to continue to partner with community members such as SNAP-Ed. Mark and Maria, thank you so much for your insight. Miss May, did you have any questions?
I did. I would have a question. What do you say for parents with young children to encourage them to, prepare meals for like young toddlers? What type of things would you suggest? Because some of them are very picky, texture and all kinds of things going on with them.
Okay, that's an easy one for me. I have my own. I do have a toddler and I have an older one. And one of the things that I've learned from my own personal experience is food with younger children, you have to involve them. It's a learning experience that helps them build a connection to their food. What is actual a food in its whole form and what is cooked are two different things. And a lot of times when they're younger, they relate to their food when it's already prepped. They're like, wait, this is not a potato. It's a French fry, or sometimes it's just they don't have that connection. And just encouraging, bring them involved in the cooking process, how to wash your produce, how to steer food, get them simple tasks to encourage them. And when it comes to picky eaters, always give your child an alternative. Hey, do you want a carrot or a broccoli? Always just encouraging a different taste and also be a role model. If you're going to be trying something that you want your own toddler to try, eat it as well. Let them see that you're not just making them eat vegetables by themselves. We're going to eat them together, and make food fun. I always used to make like little menus, or if my youngest one was helping me or my oldest, and I would say, oh, you know what? We're going to have, my youngest one is Janelle. We're going to have Janelle's potato salad. And it would encourage her to have the salad, or my oldest one, her name is Sophia. And I would say, oh, you know what? Sophia made this delicious pineapple rice because she helped me make it. And we gave it that title. And they were excited and proud. And they just dived right in because they make it and they feel like they own the food. So those are just some tips I would love to share.
Oh, thank you. That was very good. I like that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's I love that you said that you're giving them a chance to own the food. That's like everything, right? As soon as you put their name on it, that's it. They're in.
Yeah, those are all
So
great.
thank you all once again for joining us, Parents Engaging Parents. Tune in. We're going to be hanging out with SNAP-Ed and Community Food Bank. We're going to be getting more information on healthy foods and their presentations all month this month. So, And also, we're going to be having a presentation from Mark at the end. We're going to be cooking together. So definitely look, tune
Nice.
in, see what's going on. We're going to be sending out a survey as well. We want to know what you want to cook. So there is going to be like some fantastic list of foods, from pancakes to fried rice to, I believe there was some smoothies in there. So we want to hear from you. We want to know what it is that you would like to cook with Mark. Okay.
And also, we want to encourage all of our people that are tuning in today. We will select 3 winners today to receive a gift card. So hopefully you put your name in the chat or said something on our Facebook Live, so we can enter your name into the drawing for our gift cards. And we thank you for participating tonight.
Thank you, everyone, and continue to
Navigating the
us.
grocery store
We
to
will
choose the
see
foods
you.
that are best for your health.
We will see you.
They don't want to leave.
No, she doesn't want to leave. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Don't forget to share. Don't forget to share. Share PvP.
Share and like. Share and like.
Yes, share and like.